Hello everyone, and today I have got Sarah Moxon with us. Now Sarah's been a member for a little while and I got to know Sarah, we met at networking.
We did through Athena.
We did through we were at a very nice actually estate house being turned into a hotel, and that, do you know that Oakley Hall, Florence Nightingale used to go there for dances. I was taken round Oakley Hall, and it's steeped in history, absolutely steeped in history. And of course, it's Jane Austen country as well, isn't it? Around that area. Around, I used to live in Overton, which is the next village on almost, and it is a historical area in Hampshire. But that's where we met. We met at networking, and then we just bump into each other time and time again as we go round, don't we?
So, yeah.
So, Sarah, I know what you do, but your title this week, actually, what's it about? Tell me what it's about.
I work with, or I'm a franchisee of a company called Forever Living, which is an aloe-based Vera product which deals with health, beauty and wellness. And my title, Aloe is Breast. A colleague of mine is running a live event on the 21st of November. Right. And it's all to do with breast cancer, not just in ladies, but in gentlemen as well, because in the UK alone, 1 in 100 men will be diagnosed with breast cancer.
Really? Wow.
So the evening is going to comprise of an oncologist coming on and talking about it and how ladies should check their breasts and gentlemen should check their pets. And also she's got a lovely lady who is a breast cancer survivor who's coming to come on and give her story and how her positive outlook was her way of dealing with situation she was in. And obviously with aloe products, because our number one ingredient in all our products across the board is aloe vera, so it helps boost the immune system. So even down to our deodorant, because for a lot of patients that are going through chemo and radiotherapy, you can't use deodorants, but the Forever Living one is pure aloe gel on a stick, and it's got no aluminium salts, so it's still friendly to use.
So we're talking about no chemicals or a very, the stuff that we buy off the shelves in the shops are filled with chemicals, really, aren't they? We don't. I mean, although it's listed, and I'm guessing that yours is far more natural.
It's virtually all natural. I mean, the actual aloe stabilized aloe gel they used is hand harvested, and from 6 hours from it being hand picked to it being stabilized, ready to be put into product.
Wow.
It's one big process. Wow. And a lot of our products, like the MSN gel, is ideal for using on the area after you've had radiotherapy to reduce the burning.
Yes, I've heard of that before. I know that when because you do it in liquid form as well. I know that you do it in liquid form. I know some of your products, but I remember taking the liquid form. This is going back a few years, and I was quite drained at that time. I was really overworking, like you do when you're trying to sort your business out. And the doctor said, you've got to stop, you've got to take a rest. Anyway, I took some of this aloe vera and I kept it up for at least 6 months. I went back thinking, because he said, you've got to come back for, I need to get some feedback on what's happening with you. And I went back and he said, you are the healthiest I've ever seen you. And that is all I'd done was take that. And I also know, there's me chatting on, you should be doing the chatting. I also know that I used to get up with my older dog. I mean, my dog was, 17, 16, we were talking about 16, 17 years at that point. And I used to take mine and then I used to give him some and he loved it.
Yeah. And it's a product that it's not not only can you use it on yourself and your family can use it, but your pets, your dog, your cat, horses. The aloe stick, not only is it good for the deodorant stick, not only is it good for sort of making you smell nice and being soothing, because if you've waxed or shaved, you can put it straight on. You can put it on a horse around their eyes and around their nose, and it keeps flies away.
Wow. Oh,
So it's multi-purpose as well.
That's interesting, isn't it? We don't hear half of this when we're looking at the, you know, if we're on a website or if we're looking at some blurb or something, it's not until you get down to really talking to people do you find out all these lovely tips and hints. So I'll let you do the talking now because I've butted in a few times. So carry on with your story about the cancer and some of your other tips you're going to give us.
Right, well, as I said, on the 21st of November at 6 p.m. UK time, my friend is going to do a live event, all based around sort of breast cancer, because obviously it's still big and relevant around sort of ladies and the understated people that get breast cancer, but when we talk about it is gentlemen, and making it so that you don't have to hide away from the diagnosis. There's a community out there that we're out to support you, lift you up if you're feeling down. Basically, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I know from personal experience, my mother had breast cancer 6 years ago, and she was borderline stage 4 breast cancer. Touch wood. She's in remission. She has been for the last 5 years. But even with her, it is what she said was it was a cancer that took her on. And that's the positive outlook that she went into it with, and says, well, it's not going to stop me. And it didn't stop her. And she used aloe when she finished the chemo. She went on to the radiotherapy, which a lot of patients do go on to. The aloe vera helped relieve the area where, obviously, with radiotherapy, they target this area where the breast cancer is or was, and it helped alleviate the burning sensation that you get after prolonged radiotherapy.
Marvellous. That is marvellous.
Also, it is, and I mean, Forever Living, just for my company alone, I mean, we do an awful lot, a wide range of products. Even sort of some of the side effects like headaches. So she'd use we've got a heat lotion. I think heat lotion, why headaches? Well, yes, you can use it to massage muscles if they're tight or if you've got a sore back. But using it on your forehead and across your from your forehead into your temples and just a little massage, it can relieve headaches without having to resort to paracetamol.
Goodness.
And it's literally, and it gently warms and also cools the area. So where people get a lot of sort of stress headaches here, just a little bit of heat lotion across there, or even if you're having a bath, de-stress, squidge it into the bath as well.
Oh, wonderful.
Because it's also got eucalyptus in it, so the smell.
Yeah.
Soothing. So helps you soothing and de-stresses you. So yeah, while you're running the hot taps, just squidge a bit under the hot tap, and then just soak and relax.
Yeah, glass of wine.
A glass of wine, a few scented candles.
Shut the door. Keep the house out. Oh, lovely. It sounds lovely. Oh dear, oh dear. I know that you spent last week outside a supermarket, was it?
No, I was sat in the motorway services on the M4 I did 12-hour stints a day for a whole week.
12 hours is a huge amount of time. I used to go and collect for Citizens Advice. I used to do some work with them, and we we were only the limit that they would let us do was a 2-hour stint, because after that everybody started moaning. But 12 hours on the go,
Yeah.
good grief.
Well, the big charity I support is the Royal British Legion and the Poppy Appeal, which is the biggest military-based charity in the United Kingdom, and 2021 is our centenary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And obviously for the Poppy Appeal,
Yeah.
it goes back to a Canadian doctor at the end of the First World War walking around the cemeteries where the Commonwealth and Allied troops had been buried, and the surviving flower, which was a wildflower, was the poppy. And obviously he wrote the power in the flowers, between the crosses, row on row, grew the poppy. And a French Canadian lady, decided to make some poppies based off this poem, and sold them to raise some money for some veterans that were in her neighbourhood. And British veterans, they took it on board, and that's where poppy peel sprung from back in 1921.
So it came from, I don't think it was Flanders, was it? But it was whatever field it was over
in Flanders Field. Yeah, in Flanders Fields, the poppies grow between the poppies row on row.
Oh, I didn't know I was going to remember that. It's funny, isn't it, what stays in there? Yes, and the poppies, when you see a field of poppies, it's so impressive, isn't it? If you're out in the countryside and that, and you come over a hillside, and I know that I've done it a couple of times last year, and the fields were full of poppies, and it really gets you, because poppies are such a commemorative flower in our country, aren't they? But you said that people were really generous, because for those that don't know, the UK is back into lockdown again, and this is you out there 12-hour shifts. And
prior to the second lockdown, I was back out there doing the 12-hour shifts, because a lot of our collectors are ladies and gentlemen of a certain generation.
Yes. Oh, she's gone. Let's see where she is. I'll try and get her back. Hopefully she'll come back in. But I know where she was going on that. Sarah was saying that absolutely people were being very generous. It took their breath away about how generous they were. And here she comes back in again.
Here we go.
There you are.
I'm back.
I know you were saying about how generous people were throughout the week. Marvelous.
I had one gentleman, I was packing up for the evening, I go into the car and he goes, "Where's your contactless machine? Because we've come up into the 21st century, we can use contacts, and we've got contactless machines now where we can, we don't have to handle cash. And we don't have to I had a bucket as well, but I could take card payments and donations via cards as well." And he came up to me as I was packing my car up and he goes, "I'd like to give a donation." The normal limit now is sort of £45 because they upped it because obviously COVID.
Oh yeah.
So straight off the bat, £45 donation. There you go. I don't want anything else. Thank you for being out collecting.
Wow, that's really wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's that sort of generosity.
Sorry?
It's that sort of generosity. It humbles me every year, because every year people go above and beyond to donate to Poppy Appeal, which is a fantastic charity, because if you put £1 in, that £1 is used for our benevolence. So it will go to individuals, families that are desperately in need of help.
Yeah.
And think they have got nowhere else to turn. If they think they've got nowhere else to turn, Royal British Legion and the Poppy Appeal is hopefully there for them and can help them.
Yeah, and we've got a British Legion down in our village, but I guess if you're not in the know, you don't realise that there's that much help behind the scenes going on. The British Legion, it is a community place where anybody in the military can go, and it's usually in the form of a clubhouse. I'm only doing this by knowledge now, memory.
You don't have to be veteran or have served to be a member of the Royal British Legion.
You
Anybody can
don't?
be a member.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Anybody.
I thought you had. I thought it was because I mean, our family were all Army or Air Force. My father was ex Air Force, and Chris is ex Army. But I've always been. It was just one of those things that I went to, and growing up was, well, we'll just go to the British Legion. That's just where it was the main source of, especially if you lived in. We lived in Bramley, so the camp, and a lot of my parents.
I know family very well. My husband and daughter have been on that camp numerous occasions with the cadet force.
I grew up. Most of my childhood was in that camp because my grandfather was there, and my mother. And yeah, it was a fun. Actually, the community side of the British Legion is amazing, actually, for keeping the community together, isn't it, and helping people.
It goes very much back to the ethos of the military, where when you join the military, it's like joining a family. So when you go to a regiment, for me, as I served 5 years, and I initially did headquarters work, then I went to a regiment, and I went into a regiment where I had 500 brothers.
Yes,
now they really were big brothers.
Yeah, it is very much
family.
Yeah, there's a whole community thing that
atmosphere.
It's hard to actually match when you get back out into Civvy Street. It's quite a hard thing. You didn't now weren't you on the ordering side or something? What were you? Because I know you're very much involved still on the voluntary side, aren't you?
Yeah, so for Legion we've got the Royal British Legion, and we've also got the Royal British Legion Women's Section, which formed just a few months after the RBL did. So the Women's Section is also 100 next year.
Oh, right.
So the Women's Section, we look after, our aim was to support widows, the widowers and the children. So we still have a few schemes that run. So one of our schemes is what we call the President's Award Scheme. And we do we give money towards educational grants, university equipment. So if we've got a servicewoman who's coming out and she wants to retrain for a job, we will help provide her with the skills to do it, or maybe equipment to do that. We've given grants to children of servicemen so they could do university degrees.
Oh, see, people don't know this, do they?
Sorry.
I can't tell you how many times I've done Zoom meetings with pets these days.
Yes, this is Kit.
Oh, lovely. How
but yes, so we do. So we support the Women's Section, support that way. But within Berkshire, I am the county secretary, so I'll help support branches within Berkshire, and then obviously what we do feeds up to national level. So obviously we've got a national level as well.
Umbrella, yeah. I always find these sessions really fascinating because we just always put a label on ourselves, and actually when you start talking to people, it's so obvious that there's so much more to a person. Every member in this group, there's so much more than what they tell us about on there. This is what I do, I can help you do this. And then when you start talking to them for longer than about 3 or 4 minutes, you realize how much depth there is and how much experience we've got in this group. So thank you very much, Sarah. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or point anybody in a direction on, say, Christmas sales, shall I say? Or
Yeah, so if anybody would want is looking for something maybe outside the box for possible Christmas gifts, or looking for different ideas, maybe you're looking to gift maybe a cooking experience to somebody, we could potentially sort out some cooking ingredients as part of that sort of experience for them. Or if you know somebody that's into the health and keeping fit, maybe if you're gifting them maybe a gym experience, you may be able to suggest some products that could help along with the health and the well-being.
wow.
If anybody's interested and wants to join the live event on the 21st, DM me and I can pass on the link to them. And I'm also, on the 12th of December, I'm walking home for Christmas for Walking with the Wounded.
Are you?
Yes.
See, I don't know about this. I don't know what I do all day long, really.
Walking with the Wounded is a charity that was set up post Iraq, Afghanistan, and it's about helping serving ex-service community where veterans have fallen on hard times, injured, mental health issues, addiction, homelessness, or they're in prison and they need to change things so they can come out to a better place. Walking with the Wounded is there to help them, along with other sort of military charities. So I'm walking 12 miles home for Christmas and raising some money for them.
Oh, that sounds really good. Are you practicing at the moment? Because I know that you're getting out
practicing.
to walk. Yeah,
I am practicing because I'm also, because obviously with the centenary of the Poppy Appeal and the British Legion next year, I'm also walking 100 miles the Poppy Appeal in the women's section next year.
100 miles?
Yeah, 100 miles.
That's over a certain amount of time, or is it? Because
I'm doing it over 20 weeks, so I'm doing 10 miles a week.
Oh, right. Okay. Gosh.
So it all sort of ties into that. But yeah, somebody made...
Get some bits about this on the site. Yeah, let's go. So what we'll do, Sarah, is when we finish here, over the next few days, I will sort out the video and give you a separate link so that you can post it wherever you want to. So that will be on YouTube, and I'll make sure that you're tagged in on YouTube. So if anybody actually types your name onto YouTube, they'll find this interview, and also underneath this section so you'll find, or everyone will find in this video, in the media section on the Facebook group and under videos, and that's where they'll all be listed. And any comments, any links you want to put in underneath there, then that would be great. But as we get into next year, hopefully you'll be talking to us about this 100 miles that you're doing, and perhaps we can encourage more people to join in. What do you think?
That would be fantastic. Everybody is welcome to join in on the 100 miles. The more the merrier.
Oh, there's a target for us. That is something we're going to try and do. Okay, I'm going to stay with me anyway, Sarah, but I'm going to, are you okay for me to finish today and say goodbye to everyone? That's lovely. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really good. And I'll say goodbye to everyone and have a lovely weekend.
Yeah, take care, everybody.